So you're starting a business, or maybe you're just trying to take that side hustle to the next level. One of the very first and honestly most important decisions you're going to make is picking its legal structure. Think of it as the foundation of a house. It dictates everything from how you'll pay taxes to how much personal risk you're actually taking on. You've got this great idea, right? Maybe you're slinging stuff online from your bedroom, or maybe you're planning a whole massive operation. But there's this big question hanging in the air. How do you go from just, doing the thing to making it an official business? It all starts with this one concept, the business entity. So what is a business entity? Well, it's basically a formal structure that builds a legal wall between your personal life and your business life. I love this analogy of a protective suit. It's perfect. It shields you, the owner, while giving your business its own identity to do things like sign contracts and manage its own bank account. Okay, business structures really fall into two main camps. First up, we've got what I like to call the Unincorporated Starter Kit. This is your fast track, the most direct way to get your business off the ground and running. Inside this starter kit, you've really got two main flavors. If you're flying solo, you're a sole trader, the solo act. But if you've teamed up with someone, you're a partnership. You've basically formed a band. Simple as that. Let's dig into the sole trader. This is the ultimate freedom play. It's all yours, it's super simple and cheap to set up, and you have total control. Every decision, every dollar of profit, it's all you. Plus, the government pretty much leaves you alone. Sounds almost too good to be true, doesn't it? Well, here's the catch, and it is a big one. Unlimited liability. What does that mean? It means legally, you and your business are the exact same thing. There's no protective suit, no separation. If the business has debts, then you have debts. And this is where it gets really real. If your business gets into financial trouble, your personal assets, we're talking your house, your car, are on the line. It's like riding a bike with no helmet. Yeah, you've got total freedom, but you have zero protection if things go sideways. Now, what about the band? A partnership just means you've got two or more owners. The good news is you get to share the workload, the risk, and yes, the debt. But, and this is crucial, you absolutely need a partnership agreement to make sure everyone's on the same page. You can even have silent partners, people who just put in money but don't help run the show. So if that whole riding with no helmet thing sounds a bit terrifying, it might be time to think about building an incorporated fortress. This is where you get next-level protection. But you guessed it, it also comes with more complex rules. When you incorporate, you're literally creating a new separate legal entity. Your business becomes its own person in the eyes of the law. That means it can own property, sign contracts, and even get sued, all completely separate from you personally. And this brings us to the absolute game changer, limited liability. This is the wall of your fortress. Your personal assets are now shielded. As a shareholder, the most you can possibly lose is the amount you've invested. If the business goes under, your house and your car are safe and sound. Incorporated companies usually come in two main flavors. You've got private companies, or PTY Ltd. Think of these like exclusive clubs with up to 50 shareholders, and raising more money can be tricky. Then you have the public companies, or LTD. These are the heavyweights, trading on the stock exchange. It's way easier to raise big money with an IPO, but man, they are incredibly complex and very, very expensive to run. Okay, before we figure out your perfect fit, let's just quickly touch on a couple of specialized blueprints. These guys operate a little differently, but they're super interesting and help complete the picture. So on one side, you have social enterprises. These are businesses where the primary goal isn't just making money, it's about a social or environmental mission. Think of who gives a crap using profits to build toilets. Then, on the other side, you've got government business enterprises, or GBEs, like Australia Post. The government owns them, but they're expected to operate like a normal business and make a profit. All right, we've laid out all the options. So, the million-dollar question is, how do you actually choose? It's not about finding the perfect one, it's about finding the best fit for you. It really just boils down to asking yourself three key questions. First, what are your goals? A food truck has totally different needs than a restaurant that wants to become a global franchise. Second, what's your personal tolerance for risk? Are you cool with unlimited liability, or do you absolutely need that safety net? And third, the financials. You have to think about taxes. For instance, a company might pay a flat tax rate of, say, 25%, while your personal income tax rate could be over 40%. On $100,000 of profit, that's a huge difference. Look, every single one of these choices is a trade-off.
You're constantly balancing simplicity against protection, or total control against the potential for growth. And yeah, cost is a big factor. Incorporation is not cheap. But you know what? The most important thing to remember is that this decision isn't set in stone. You can always evolve as your business grows.
Think of your business structure as part of a journey, not a final destination. It should adapt and grow right along with you. So the question you need to ask isn't what's perfect forever. The real question is what's the right fit for you and your business right here, right now?